Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue. This intro is now over, so let's start the review. So, what's up everyone? It's me, Ryan, aka Firebite27, and there's no point beating around the bush cause it's prime time. You know, for a show that's primarily about toys of robots that transform into things, I spent a really long time building up to a review of who may very well be, from here to infinity, the single most iconic character that embodies that idea. And it's a good thing that I'm talking about a figure of said character that is so fantastic. And by now, I'm almost certain that you've heard every reviewer on YouTube say how brilliant this figure is. And most of them are right. Why did I wait so long to review this figure? Well, that's because everyone else was talking about it at the time that I got it. And I wanted to let everyone have a bit of a breather before I talked about it. So first, I want to talk about what I don't like about the figure before I talk about what I do like about it. Now, before I talk about what's good about the figure, I should talk about what isn't good. My first and likely biggest problem with this figure is that there's too much of a G1 influence on it. Now, don't get me wrong, the figure looks fantastic in robot mode, but is there seriously any reason why it needs to have the same robot mode as the G1 version did in Earth mode? I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. If you had a Cybertronian alt mode, then you would have different parts that you'd have to shift around in robot mode, and that doesn't make any sense. It just feels like they aren't fully committed to the idea of Cybertronian modes. More just futuristic versions of vehicles on Earth and lumps that are so stylized that you can't even tell what they are. My lesser complaints are the combined weapons look kinda dumb, and the ball joint isn't the best used, and the cel-shaded version of this that's a Walmart exclusive looks stupid. And that, my friends, is where the negatives end and the positives start. And we'll start with the head, because it's a flawless physical manifestation of Optimus's head in the G1 cartoon. The head gives it a Roger Rabbit effect, where it feels as though Prime came out of the TV itself and into the physical world. We've also got twin Gatling guns mounted on the underside of each of his arms. And we also have some of the best posability that I've seen on an action figure in my life. We've got head, shoulders, knees, toes, and then some! And despite what other reviewers have told you, he does in fact have his Matrix. The core of the Matrix is just hidden in the backpack. And it's details like these that really help me to appreciate the level of sculpting going on in the Siege figures. Another thing that happened to help me appreciate was the fact that I'm the only person on YouTube who noticed. I wish I was joking, but everyone from Vault Matrix to Theo Adams, from Dr. Lockdown to the Lazy Apple reviewer, said that he didn't have a Matrix when it's been hiding in his back the whole time. Then again, when does anyone look inside the backpack of a Transformer? Oh wait, I did. Speaking of sculpting, he is covered in what can reasonably be described as a metric butt-ton of detail. From calf-mounted adapter cables to pistons in his thighs and computer wires in his chest. The lattermost of which was all needlessly wasted by the Walmart version and the Repo Labels set. Nice going, Hashtag and Toy Hacks. The only thing that can be forgiven of the Toy Hack set is the fact that it fixed the axe, which is extremely bland without the orange detailing. I mean, those two things just ruin what make this figure so unique. They just turn it into another bland G1 reference. So if you want a G1, I'll give you an entire list of all the toys you can hunt down for your G1 Optimus. G1, Power Master, Action Master, G2, Combat Hero, Laser Rod, GoBots, Machine Wars, Korokyu, RID 2001, Armada, RID Spy Changer, Bendy Prime, Energon, Cybertron, Titanium, and Classics, Pepsi Prime, First Movie Legends, First Movie Voyager, First Movie Leader, ROTF Leader, Movie Protoform Optimus Prime, Animated Deluxe, Animated Voyager, Dark of the Moon, Ultimate Optimus Prime, Rescue Bots Optimus Prime, Beast Hunter's Mask, and of course, Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. So with that being said, let's get on with the transformation. Now, while I don't normally talk about the transformations objectively, I would like to state that I really like the complexity of this transformation. It's not, say, Bayformers complex, and in fact, at the longest it took me about 2 minutes. But there are a lot of panels and pieces that really need to line up just right and so forth. And I wouldn't be expressing due diligence if I didn't tell you that when I got this figure, the pin that holds this wheel, like, to the hip of Optimus Prime, or like the strut that holds it there, was misaligned and pushed outside of the hole, partially. So I had to get a flathead screwdriver and sort of like push it out, then push it back in. And in fact, here's a bit of footage of the damage that it caused to my figure, just so you can see that I'm not joking, and that the pin is still partially poking its way out. Now, I still feel that the alt mode didn't deviate enough from G1, but for what it's worth, it's still a really cool alt mode of a futuristic truck. I mean, it's got these little, like, Gatling guns here for headlights, and it's got all these cool blue transparencies here. And, like, the windows, again, have a really nice wiring detail on them. Now, one thing I am extremely glad isn't in the works is a trailer for the back of the truck. We have a 5mm port back here for a trailer, but we don't have any announcement for an actual trailer, third party or otherwise. And, I mean, thank God, I don't really have space for that. However, I know that someone is inevitably going to complain about it in my comments saying, "Oh no, if he doesn't have the trailer, then he's not complete." First of all, do not talk in a voice like that because you sound like a complete doofus. And second of all, I have to say that because, really, you're going to play with the trailer like once or twice. Then you're going to put it on your shelf and do nothing with it again for like years. The reason I don't want one is because there isn't enough space for one. In my room, anyway. It would also be fair to mention that you can transform into a hover mode by pulling down the wheels. And this is pretty cool, though it would look better if I had a flight stand, but I don't. Though, if you did want to have it fly, there is a little hexagon peg for a flight stand. Or you could transform it into the final fan mode, a pair of legs attached to the front of a truck. And now we have a fully terrestrial Gerwalk, or freighter walk if you prefer. Now, one thing I will suggest you do is take a micron pen or another fine-tipped pen and just go over some of the panel lines and detailing with the pen so you can bring them out a bit more. I mean, I've never used a Gundam marker before, so I couldn't tell you how those work, but a micron pen will work just fine. I can definitely recommend Siege Optimus Prime to any collector. And it didn't need a cel-shaded version of it. Why did you waste your money on making that instead of a Nemesis Prime of this? So with that being said, this is Cybertron27, over and out. Hey guys, Ryan, aka Cybertron27 here, just reminding you to like the video, comment on it, share it with some friends, and subscribe to my channel, and ring the notification bell if it suits your fancy. Now, with that being said, next time, I believe I'm going to try and remaster a few of my old episodes because they are something embarrassing.